And in today's video, we're going to talk about some Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire updates. We're going to talk about Legendary Comics releasing a crossover with DC. And we're also going to talk about some potential information that's come out that backs up the test screen information. And we're also going to go over a bunch of MonsterVerse news that's come out in the last couple of days. So yo, what is freaking good YouTube voice here? If you are new around and make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Kaiju, MonsterVerse, Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below, what are you most excited for? There is so much to be excited for in the MonsterVerse world. There's even a Kong video game coming out. We've got Godzilla -1 coming out. We got Godzilla X Kong next year. There is so much MonsterVerse Kaiju stuff coming out in the next 6 months to a year in a roundabout way. And also, if you're good, check us out on Twitter, Warstu. And also, if you're good, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. All right, let's get into it. So, as of the time recording this video, San Diego Comic-Con is going on. Although, if you've seen images of Hall H is usually packed out with 6,000 people. But seeing as we have the actors strike, Hall H is freaking empty. So let's address the elephant. What I do on this channel is I present information I'm told that I believe is true. So I was told for the longest time running up to San Diego Comic-Con a month prior that we would be getting a first look trailer at Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire during San Diego Comic-Con. Then information came out via KDM saying that the actors aren't going to be there and they're not planning to drop anything at San Diego Comic-Con because the actors aren't going to be there. So I've hinted at, yeah, it could still come out because they could randomly drop stuff online. But I hate to say this, now I'm hearing the first official trailer, not teaser. I know we got the teaser trailer that shows the orangutan, aka Scar King, and it shows the bones of potentially Godzilla and Kong's ancestors, or they're more foreshadowing that Godzilla and Kong may die. No one's going to die in that movie, at least not Godzilla and Kong. So I hate to say it, but now based on information that I've been told personally, bear in mind, I got the whole plot for Godzilla vs Kong right at 8 months before the movie came out. With trailers, it's more subject to change because trailers and when they're willing to start a full-scale promotional campaign, it's very different. So with trailers, information about when trailers drop can change so fast. So I hate to say it, but it does kind of make sense due to the actors not being able to be at San Diego Comic-Con that, don't worry, Godzilla X Kong is not being delayed because it's due to come out next year and they're pretty much done. Sure, there could be some reshoots, some extra reshoots, sorry, but it's looking like it's pretty much done. So I'm now hearing that the trailer for Godzilla X Kong will be coming out at the end of November, stroke early December, which is a long time away. It is. But something I do on this channel is I keep you updated. So if I say something is going to drop trailer-wise, I'll do an update telling you, obviously it didn't come out because you would have known that. I always like to update people and information that I do say. So it could still drop because San Diego Comic-Con is not over yet as the time of recording this, but I'm hearing end of November, early December now. So a few days ago, and it doesn't always mean that this will be canon to the MonsterVerse. As we've said, with lots of different toy companies, with Funko, with Hasbro, with Playmate Toys previously, just because a toy is made doesn't necessarily mean it means anything to do with the greater scale or the grand scheme. So we have a toy returning, not exactly for Godzilla X Kong, but it does line up a leak. So Titan Tech Rodan is returning, and it's essentially Monarch armor that will be on Rodan. And if you've read the plot leaks, it does say that Kong will be getting some armory upgrades from Monarch. So does this hint that potentially Rodan could be appearing in Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really think it's highly likely, but we do know they will be in Hollow Earth, and there's going to be a bunch of new creatures in Hollow Earth, and it would be cool to see Rodan again. And this is going back a few days ago. I'm reading this post on Twitter, 19th of July, so it's a few days ago. But you know what I like to do? I like to get all the stories and wrap them together. So it does appear that I mean, Mechagodzilla, a cyborg Godzilla, it does seem like Legendary are not Legendary, well, I guess it is Legendary, are trying to somehow have Monarch weaponize the kaiju so they can control the kaiju if they wanted to. Now, that does make sense going forward, because the most important thing about movies doing well is they've got to have a simple storyline that they can, in a roundabout way, control. So just because Playmates is releasing a Titan tech toy, sure, bro, it is a gimmick, and it might not even make it to the movie, but there's got to be some correlation to that in a roundabout way, or at least that's my interpretation of it. So I am doing updates from information going around the community. So give props to KDM. He does have a lot of credibility, and he seems to have a lot of support in this community. So going forward, I will cover the information he goes over. So he says, MonsterVerse live action TV show is not cancelled. It's not delayed to 2024, 2025. So the problem is, it seems like the studios are not going to back down, and they're almost trying to be like, yo, we're not backing down. And this is why you've seen a bunch of projects that are potentially going to be delayed. Warner Bros. Studios were like, yo, they were thinking about delaying Blue Beetle, but they didn't. And it's like Aquaman 2, they're thinking about delaying it, but they're not sure. To me, that just sends out signals that studios know they're not going to back down. So some projects that were slated for this year will most likely be pushed, but I don't think it's going to affect the MonsterVerse realistically, because this only really affects projects that are still in development or companies that have nothing else in the line going forward. Godzilla, isn't it? You'll be surprised. It's not 25 to 30 minutes per episode, doubling the running time. Matt and Chris aren't the only writers. There are some good writers. So that's KDM talking about the MonsterVerse live action stuff. So recently, Legendary, and this is interesting actually, because they copyright DMCA claim Twitter posts about this. So cover and variant by Jim Lee. Jim Lee obviously made the cover for this. Justice League versus Godzilla. Now, this is freaking insane. Just imagine if they could do this in the live action. That would be so insane. The Justice League taking on Godzilla is absolutely insane, and the budget for that movie would have to be insane if they were to actually do that. I don't know, I just thought it is kind of relevant because I do cover Marvel DC as well, and as we know, Godzilla has appeared in the Marvel universe as well, so it's just pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing to throw in. So there are some actual details about the comic book arc run. I don't think it's going to be very long, but there is a little bit of additional information that was revealed. The superheroes of the Justice League have faced many massive threats in their time, but they're about to face their biggest threat yet. Literally, DC Comics and Legendary Comics kicked off this year's San Diego Comic-Con on Thursday by announcing a new crossover, the Justice League versus Godzilla and Kong. When you have a story where the characters are this big, there is a size disparity, Lee tells EW. From an artist's point of view, it's challenging to compose the shots in a way that you're able to show the drama through the face, while at the same time clearly conveying what's happening in terms of action. But Christian just brought it home and has done a fantastic job. Now, if you look at it, there's like an image of Superman going at Godzilla, and this is absolutely insane. It really is. And it goes on to say, Lee at one point considered showing Batman piloting the merch in the cockpit at the top, but then they sent me the height of the mock-up of Godzilla versus humans and realized he would be tiny little guy in comparison. So that element. So we just want you to know there was a lot of quality control on this project to make sure we are really bringing the authenticity to the characters and presenting them in the right way. Now, it does look freaking insane. Just the Justice League, including Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Hawkgirl, and also Supergirl, going against Godzilla and Kong. Absolutely freaking insane. This will release on the 17th of October, and it's going to be a fun read. It really is. If only they could do this in live action, it would cost so much money. Or even if only they could do, I mean, I've not looked into it properly. Even if they could do it in an animation movie, that would be insane. So at the moment, this movie is scheduled to come out March 2024, March the 15th. That is why I think it's pretty bad for them to wait till November, December to start marketing the movie, because it's coming out early next year. It would have been perfect to do at San Diego Comic-Con. Like I said, as the time of recording this video, they still could drop something this weekend, but I don't know if they will. So from all of the information I can gather from talking to people that have actually watched said test screener, I was told the movie was just shot shy of 2 hours and 25 minutes, which I think would make it one of the longest MonsterVerse movies in recent time. I think between 2 hours and 2.5 hours is a perfect runtime. Now, I do have a full in-depth plot leak from the test screening, which is much more in-depth than anything you have seen on the MonsterVerse subreddit or on 4chan. Now, if you want me to post that video, let me know, but it is really, really in-depth. And remember the Godzilla vs Kong one, the one I posted for that, when people told me I was wrong, but I was 100% right. Let me know. It is very spoilery. I know spoilers are out there at the moment, all over Twitter and all over 4chan and all over Reddit, but this plot information gives you actual details about the fights, about how stuff goes down. I don't know if I want to release that yet because it is a bit full on. I mean, I don't think it ruins the movies for people because you've got to actually click into the video. I don't ruin things in titles and stuff like that, but I know if I was to make that video, the information from that video would go everywhere on the internet because every time I do a leak video, at some point it goes everywhere. So I don't really want that information out everywhere yet, but if I get enough people in this video in the comments telling me release the full test screen plot information, then I might think about it because it is in so much more depth than the minor details that we got previously, which is why I didn't mind to do it. But I don't really want to do a crazy in-depth video, even though we've got the information already. But let me know down below, guys. So let me know, is Rodan coming to Godzilla X Kong? Will you be getting the Kong video game? I know it looks like it's aimed at children, but it still looks like it could be a fun game to play, maybe. Are you looking forward to Godzilla -1? That looks freaking insane. And yeah, sorry about getting the information wrong about the first trailer, but it is looking like November, December, which I'm not really happy about. I want that trailer earlier, but it is what it is. So like always, guys, I'm going to try and do more MonsterVerse based videos if I can, because I really like talking about the Kaiju, Godzilla, and Kong as they're dope. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face. But hi, the beautiful face. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu G, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.